quick, like, oh, hi there. All right, what's up, guys? So as many of you guys have probably seen in the background of some of my videos, I have a garden, and a lot of you guys have been asking questions about it, like how did I build it, what kind of dirt do you use, what do you have growing in there? So today I'm going to answer the question, what does a nutritionist have growing in his garden? So having your own garden is like super rewarding, and it can also like save you money. So today I'm going to show you guys what I have in my garden and how I built the bed. If you guys remember months ago, I talked about building the garden box out of pallets, like old pallets. And we started to take apart some of the pallets, and they just like started to fall apart, and it was too frustrating. So I went and bought some wood. So what I used are 2x10s, and it's really nice and strong. 2x10s are not that expensive, and it's the perfect height for growing vegetables. So I just basically just cut square edges and then just drilled them in through the side with nice long like 2.5 or 3-inch screws. And that's all you have to do, and then get some good soil. We have a mix of like a compost and some topsoil in here, and then just some stuff that we had laying around the yard, and we've made a mix of that. If you guys are interested more in like what I use to fertilize my soil and how I keep the microbial content up and that sort of thing, I can definitely cover that in another video, but I'm not going to make this too specific right now because I don't know how interested you guys are in my gardening. So let's just go over some of the plants that we have. Like where we're situated here, we don't get a ton of sunlight. So although it's really sunny right now, there's some trees overhead where we only get about 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. So that's kind of limited us to growing just greens. If you're eating anything for the fruit or the root, and that includes things like broccoli and cauliflower, you basically need like 8, 10, 12 hours of sunlight a day. But greens will grow in much less sunlight. So even if you have a balcony that only gets an hour or two of sun a day, you can definitely still grow some greens. And we go through the greens like crazy. Crystal, who's holding the camera right now, she eats a ton of them, and myself in my smoothies every day. With every single meal we're eating greens, so this is really going to help us, although we're having trouble cutting it down because we just love seeing it be so abundant and so lush. But it's going to happen, and that's why I wanted to film the video today, because we are going to thin it out a little bit. So to start with, we have some kale here in the corner. This is like purple kale. It's a mix of a few different types, but this is a really, really nice, beautiful purple vein green leaf kale, really tender, really tasty, and it's growing like crazy. So it's really, really happy here, as you guys can see. And the nice thing about this is the cabbage moth that usually likes other types of kale doesn't seem to like this as much because it doesn't have quite the same camouflage. So just absolutely gorgeous. As we move over, we have some beets here, and there's really no rhyme or reason to how I kind of laid things out in this garden. I knew I wanted kale in a couple different spots. So I kind of have kale at 2 corners of the garden, and I did that because I wasn't sure where it was going to like it best. So I wanted to kind of diversify, I guess you could say. So there's no real rhyme or reason. I kind of have just some greens bunched in here, some kale on this side, kale over here, and then some beets and chard throughout the middle. And then the kind of more bare area is sort of my play zone where I can plant some new stuff and try things that are going to sort of come out halfway through, like some heads of lettuce and that sort of stuff. So here we have some beets. We're not sure how they're going to grow because, as I said, we're not getting a ton of sunlight, and that would qualify as one of the fruits or roots. We have some like chard here in the middle, and it's really susceptible to getting eaten by bugs, and that's been a bit of a battle so far. If you guys are dealing with anything like the spinach boring larva, let me know and we can talk about how to get rid of that. So we have some Jacinto dinosaur kale here, green kale on the corner here. This is just absolutely gorgeous. However, some of them have started to flower and bolt, and it's really easy early in the season. So I don't know why. I've planted some flowers throughout the garden. This is like a classic gardener's trick to plant some marigold because it is a natural pest deterrent. And as we go a little bit closer here, you can see that I have this lovely little plant. And what this is a orange mint. And insects do not like mint. They don't like a lot of herbs that are quite strong because the volatile oils that are in them are obviously not good for the bugs. They're very strong for them. So that's why it's good to plant some mint and some other herbs around the garden. So here we have all of our lettuce. It looks so beautiful. If you've never grown your own lettuce, it's amazing. It's so tender, it's so green, it's so rich. So Yeah, we have just some romaine lettuce, some red lettuce, some butter leaf. I think this is oak leaf here. And we've got some really interesting purple basil over there. I forget the actual name for it, but it's purple ruffled basil. And it tastes so nice. It's really, really sweet, and it has a very licoricey taste to it. Cool. We're just buzzing right along, eh? So next we have some herbs, and this is sort of like the herb patch. We have some parsley and cilantro. You guys know that those are staples in my diet. I put them in my smoothie almost every day. And then I have some cilantro here that I started a little bit later, so that we always have some fresh greens, some fresh herbs coming up. We've got some onion. That's also a natural insecticide or pest deterrent. Insects don't like the smell of onions because it's pungent. Same goes for garlic. And then at the very corner there, you can see some spinach that we've just started, and in amongst that are some gemstones. We had a full moon last night, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but you're supposed to charge your gemstones up in the full moon, in the power and the light of the full moon. So we did that, and I'm sure they're really happy and feeding the garden with lots and lots of energy. And then we have some nasturtiums here as well. I don't know if you guys know about this. Isn't a very popular green, but nasturtiums are awesome because they taste a little bit like arugula, and they're totally edible, and they'll have these beautiful flowers that are edible. It's like a spicy, really spicy, tender green, super alkalizing, almost a little bit bitter, but delicious. So that's the whole garden. Super rewarding. Oh, right. Crystal's pointing at, we have like a rogue garden over there.
Yeah, we can't forget about that one.
No, we can't forget about the rogue garden. Basically, if stuff doesn't kind of work out here in this garden, I've been moving it over there, and then any sort of overflow of stuff that I like buy and can't fit into this garden, or seeds that, you know, we've sprouted, we put over there. So I can show you guys that. But first, actually, I'll show you right here what I've done just this morning. I went and bought 2 of these huge pots. So, I mean, it seems so obvious, but if you guys don't have a backyard that you can grow in, you can just grow in big pots like this on your balcony, and it's great. So here we have some tomatoes, and because tomatoes need lots and lots of sunlight, I'm going to be putting these in the front yard, and we just have a driveway there. There's no garden, so this is the best that we can do, but it'll get tons and tons of light. So I guess we can move over to the, should we move over to the rogue garden?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go check it out. Cookie, you wanna come? Come on. Come on, Coco. So here are the defunct pallets that we were gonna make the garden boxes out of. It's a great idea. It sounds really like romantic in your head to like repurpose them, but it was a hassle, so we didn't really do that. But I encourage you guys to try to do that. So here's the rogue garden. This is, we have some peas here. They're gonna grow up this lattice that I've created here. This is a great little pot of greens, and this is exactly what you guys could have on your balcony. So there's kale in there, there's chard, there's spinach, whole bunch of stuff, and like I wouldn't worry about having to space it out perfectly or anything like that. Just fire it all in the pot and just pick at the leaves as you want. Pretty damn cool. So after that we have, just some kale that wasn't doing so well actually in the front yard, and a couple that got smothered in the other garden. But these guys will do fine here once they settled in. And there's some tomatoes there as well. So this garden isn't all that exciting, but it is equally as important because all plants need love, I think, don't they? We do give our plants love. We definitely do. Let's go back to the other garden, because I definitely come out here every night and I pick through the garden. I pick out the dead leaves. I pick off the eggs that are on there, and I send the plants good vibes. Like clearly with like the gemstones in the garden, I'm a little bit hippy dippy, you know, I do kind of like that stuff. I don't know if it works or what, but I do feel like giving the plants good energy will help them grow, and if not, it's putting your intentions into really good things. So why not do that? And I know a lot of people want to talk to vegans about if plants have feelings or not. And I don't know if they do or not, to be honest with you. And it's something I've given quite a bit of thought. But I think what's like most important to remember is that we have to eat something. And it's like if we are giving plants to like livestock to feed them, to then create food for us, to grow meat for us to eat, we're gonna kill more plants doing that anyways. So sure, I'll entertain the idea that plants have feelings. I get that. You're still gonna kill more of them if you're eating animals. That's the craziest thing about that. And beyond that, it's like you guys see, I've been picking off little plants, little pieces, little leaves of these plants, and they've been happily giving them up. They actually like to be thinned. They grow better when that happens. So I can pull this off of this plant and eat it, and the plant keeps growing and it thrives and it loves it. So take like a piece of fruit off the tree, for instance. You pull the fruit off the tree has no problem giving it up. It actually will drop that fruit if it gets too ripe. So you take that fruit, you eat it, you give the peel back to the ground, it nourishes the ground with its minerals and the vitamins that are still left in the peel, and you spit out the seeds, and you can plant those seeds and they can grow more trees, more fruit trees. You cannot say the same about a breast of a chicken or like the leg of a lamb. You cannot dismember an animal or take a piece of it and have the animal still thrive and actually get healthier. You can't plant a chicken breast in the ground and grow another chicken. It just doesn't work that way. So if that is the best argument that people have, I think it's pretty weak that plants have feelings. So this is the reason that they're going to continue to eat meat. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe in the future we will find out that plants have way more feelings than we ever knew, and which would be very cool, wouldn't it? But anyways, I hope you guys liked that video. I really hope it inspires you to create your own garden, whether it just be a small pot on your windowsill or one, like this, or even, 10 of these, or a massive garden, whatever it is. I really think you guys should do that. I can't go through this whole video without mentioning the butterfly here because Crystal thinks I'm so funny. Because in my head, I was at the store and I saw this butterfly and I thought, I've seen lots of moths around here and I know that maybe they'd be scared of like the butterfly, so I got this butterfly hoping that it would scare off the moths, and I don't think it's done anything because like a moth like landed on it right after I put it on there. But regardless, it looks beautiful. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button. I don't always ask you guys to, but it really does help with the analytics, and YouTube does like to recommend my video more, and my channel is growing a lot right now, so if I can keep this momentum growing, it would be amazing for all of us. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the support and everything. Hope you guys love this video. If you guys are curious about the setup we got going on in the backyard, the slack line, the pull-up bar, I'm gonna have to cover that in another video. All right, I think I need a piece of kale and some slack lining.